Hello everybody, happy Valentine's Day. I hope you guys all get to do something nice with the person that you love the most, and I hope you enjoy watching my video. I know I'm getting it up a little bit late, but this project that I'm showing you, you really could save it and use it for a Halloween tree also, or if you decorate it just right, you could also use it for a little Easter tree. I took one of these pink trees that you get from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to turn it into like a feather tree. You know those vintage feather trees with like the very sparse, even more sparse than this, branches where they come out straight. So I'm going to show you how to make one of those. It was really easy. I mean, it couldn't have been too much easier. If you have a drill with a drill bit and a little bit of patience, it doesn't take long to do it, and it's not hard at all. Let's do it. Oh, I do want to say this. I think, personally, if you didn't get a hold of one of these, because I know that they sold quick this year, these little pink trees from Dollar Tree, personally, after I did my project, I think I would have liked to have just had the white trees, which I had some in my stash. But, you know, at first I was excited about this because it was pink. But I think it would be better, work better, if you just had one of the white trees and you spray painted it pink. Because these, you can't really tell too well on the camera, but you can see these little sparkly things. They're kind of iridescent. And I think in the end it makes it look a little bit more sparse than it needs to, just because the branches have the see-through plastic on them. In the end, I end up spray painting mine when I'm finished with it anyway, because once I have my tree done, I don't really like the pink on this. It looks better as a little tree pink like this than it does in my project. You'll see. Let me know what you think. All right, like and subscribe, and if you already have subscribed, thank you for watching my video. I know this is a little bit of a weird one. I guess you could say it's a Valloween tree. You know, I don't really get into pastels and stuff too much, so this is what I came up with this year. I hope you like it. See you later. Okay, the first thing I'm going to show you how to do is make this tree. So I bought the biggest dowel rod that I could find at Walmart. You saw it had the aqua blue end. You could use one that's bigger or maybe a little bit smaller if you want. But this one seems to work perfect for the project. So I drill a hole in the end, and then I drill 4 holes around the sides. I keep twisting it and turning it over, and then I'm going to try a clean up. Make sure you clean up your mess as you go, because it's going to get messy. And this is one of those Dollar Tree trees that I just unraveled the string that holds the branches on, and there's like 4 or 5 different sizes of branches on there. I just separated them into the sizes, and then I'm going to go from smallest to longest as I go down my dowel rod. And I kind of you see how I have it in one side and the other. It just makes it easier for you to know where to drill your 3rd and 4th hole. You do one side, flip it over, do the other side, and then you put your stems in there, and then that way you can see where you need to go to get it in the middle for front and back. I think that makes sense. You can see how I'm doing it. And then I try to measure, you know, the same distance for each level. I take one of the branches and hold it up there, and then that way I know where to make my next set of branches. I wasn't like completely like anal and accurate about it. I just kind of went with it and did the best that I could. I was at home that day waiting for the plumbers to fix our pipes, so in our hot water. So this gave me the perfect opportunity to do this since I wasn't at work. And I'm freezing. That's why I have so much clothing on, this big thick sweater, because they had to shut the heat off while they were working on it. So it was very cold. But anyway, so I get my branches, I put them all in there. I don't know if I show you gluing them in there, but what I did is I just took some hot glue and glued them in. And I had planned right from the beginning to spray paint the rod. I was going to do that first, but since the plumbers were in the basement, I didn't want to do that while they were down there. But as I was working on it, I decided that I didn't really like the branches that came on that little pink tree from Dollar Tree. I would have, like I said in my intro, I would have rather used a white tree that was less transparent, and then I could have spray painted the whole thing, and I think it would have looked better, but you don't know until you try. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to make some of the ornaments that I put on the tree. This is kind of funny. I leave it in here because I think it's hilarious. This hot glue just keeps stretching and stretching and stretching and stretching and stretching. And I was getting pretty stressed out too, because on the other side of the wall, my washing machine was off balance, and it was like pound, 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 driving me completely and totally nuts. Anyway, so what I do there, I don't show you painting them, but I put the hot glue on there so it looks like something dripping off of the hearts, and then I go back and I paint them with a matte finish black paint, and then I went back over the drippy parts and painted that red, and went back even later on and added a little shiny coat to it so it would look more like dripping blood. And then that way you can hang those on your little tree after you made it. See, I painted the tree there. It's not that color anymore. I painted the whole thing like a darker pink, and then I also sprayed a little bit of black spray paint on there too for splattery effects. Now these, I didn't show you how to make them. I didn't do a video on it, but what it is it's the candy heart boxes, and I cut the heart out of the front, put some plastic back in it, and then I painted some of the hearts black and glued them down to the inside, and then I painted the boxes black and white, and then decorated them, and then they're like creepy heart boxes. If you guys are interested in seeing that, I could do a video on it. It'd be after Valentine's Day, but you'd be able to see how to do it for next year. If you're interested, let me know. It was pretty easy though. I used scraps of things that I had around the house. And I will tell you, one thing that I found at Dollar Tree, you can't really tell by the ornaments, but I found this silver rub and buff type stuff for your fingernails in the makeup section, and it works awesome for decorating things, giving the stuff a little bit of effect. See, and then I stuff the bottom part of my tree down in a crock that I had. And then I'm going to show you again what the difference of the tree looks like. I'm really fascinated by this because I was disappointed in the pink. I have to be honest. I'm not even going to try to buy one of the Eastery looking ones that they have that's like the silvery. It looks like it's kind of silver and transparent, but it looks a lot better. The pink looks a lot better when the branches are all close together. But when you start separating them, they don't look as good. But look how far those branches went, how big of a tree that made. But I really love those, you know, those feather trees at Christmas time. I have a black one and I really like it, and how sparse it is, so I wanted to make one of those. Now we're on to the next project. This one here is kind of fun. This is something to wear, because if you've been watching my videos, you know that I like to make decorative, you know, clothing for the holidays. So I punched out with a hole punch. I punched out two hearts really close together. And this is an idea that I saw on Pinterest, but somebody just did it as like a Valentine card or something. But I'm going to make Frankenstein and Bride of Frankenstein with these hearts. I'll show you some close-up pictures here at the end when I do my fashion show. But getting all my paints together, I should have done that before I started to hit record, but you know, it happens, whatever. Plus I changed my mind about some of the paints that I want. One thing I will say, the white puffy paint is a little bit opaque. I don't know. I don't like the white puffy paint. I think if I did this again, I might buy just some brush on fabric paint for the white part instead of the puffy paint. This puffy paint works really good in the colors if you're using a paintbrush. You'll see what I'm doing. I made a shirt for my son a long time ago, and I painted puffy paint on, and it came out great. It was like a character from Star Wars that, you know, isn't famous enough to bother making t-shirts, so I made one for my son. He likes different things. But anyway, enough rambling about that. So I'm going to paint this one over here green, and obviously that's going to be Frankenstein. And then I take some black and go back in and do his hair. So you'll see very gently. You try to be really neat. Don't move your stencil. Just dab on with a paintbrush, a small paintbrush, just little dabs. Yep. And then I'm going to do her hair. And hers I make a little bit bigger, so then that way you have room to do the white pieces that go back, you know, so that she looks like she has the hair that's been hit by electricity. I got the sniffles a little bit today for some reason. The cold's been going around at my work, so hopefully I'm not catching it. But I'm trying to let you see how I'm doing this, and not speeding it up too much, but, you know, you kind of have to see it, and it's just, you know, it's kind of a slow process. I don't really know how much to say about it, and then you can't really see it because I'm having to hold it so close. But my husband's asking me questions. Sorry. So there she goes. There she's getting her hair. See, now I did some white in the hair. She's coming along. Once I get enough of it done then, and start working on the face details, I can pull the stencil off and then just work on it without having to hold the stencil down. It's pretty easy. If you even had some markers that are like fabric markers, it would probably even be easier. But it actually came out really good. I really like this shirt. I've worn it a couple times here leading up to Valentine's Day. So she's got her eyes and her lips. I do add a little pink to give her some rosy cheeks a little bit. What do you guys do for Valentine's Day? Do you, you know, do lots of pinks and reds and whites and that kind of thing? Or, you know, do you celebrate Valentine's Day at all? I always wonder what everybody else does other than people who make videos, because, you know, a lot of the videos are like signs and that kind of thing. And, you know, I don't really put up a whole lot of signs around my house. A few here and there, but I don't really get into wall signs too much. Halloween, I have one that says trick or treat that I really like a lot, that lights up. There you go. That's what it looks like. And I'll show you better here in a minute. I'm going to put some hearts and stuff on the other side of the color to balance it out a little bit. And then I also do some at the sleeve. Some little hearts. And I do a little tiny ghost on the sleeve too, just because I think it looks cute. I'm trying to move it around and stuff without messing up the painting that I just did. So here's the sleeve, and I'm deciding what I'm going to do. But I just do some simple hearts. Easy, easy peasy. Painting hearts is actually easier than drawing them, I think. What do you guys think? I'm showing my husband. I think he thinks I'm weird. I don't know. I always wear all these things that I make, like my Halloween shoes and Christmas shoes and stuff, and he's like, he doesn't say he thinks it's weird or anything, but, you know, come on. I don't care, though. I love it. I didn't make myself any Valentine's Day shoes. I did buy some fabric that has little cherries on it and stuff to make a pair of shoes, but I figure, like, that can be, you know, Valentine's Day, summer, you know. Doesn't have to just be Valentine's Day. I didn't see a whole lot of Valentine's Day fabric that I was really interested in, to be honest with you. It has to be kind of small print to do the shoes. So a lot of the stuff I was seeing was like a bigger print. So that doesn't really work for this project very well. It's really hard to move these around without like messing up where you've already painted. But I will say the puffy paint does dry pretty fast if you're painting it on with a paintbrush like this. You know, it can take a really long time if you're painting just right out of the bottle. It can take, you have to like let it set overnight. Otherwise it'll still get messed up. But this is pretty quick to dry. Getting those hearts and everything on there. I should have clipped some of this out. I clipped some stuff out, but you know, you think you're getting enough, and then sometimes I'll like edit and clip out too much, and then you're like, what the heck happened to me doing this, or you know, this project or whatever, and it's just gone forever. Editing's kind of a pain, you guys. I'd like to have some time to take more time to learn, but you know, I work and then I make dinner for everybody, and you know, there's always something to do. It's just hard to have time for a whole lot of extras. I mean, I want to do the projects. I'd probably do the projects even if I wasn't recording them, but you know, I'll get there eventually. I'm not worried about it. My hair's a mess in the back. Taking my good old time to getting these hands done, the wrists areas. I'm sorry, but I'm going to show you here in a second. Check this out. This is kind of what it looks like. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. Work it, girl. That's pretty much what that looks like, and I'm going to keep working on it until it's finished, but I'm going to show you what the tree looks like. All set up and decorated. It's pretty funky. Hope you like it.